there, so that is going to be something that they're going to be looking for. Now, as we come up past the 57 freeway, after leaving the San Dimas area, we'll just now be coming up on Glendora and traffic situations where he is going to have to slow down a little bit for slower traffic westbound on that 210 freeway. In fact, looking up ahead the next mile or two, there is going to be definitely some slower traffic, which is normal for this time of the morning here, but you can see he's kind of lined up behind that red SUV there and having to slow down because of it. So something that we will be watching, but in excess of 105 miles an hour at points, and dramatically now having to drive a lot slower, but he is going to try and do his best to weave through some of this slower traffic. Look at that, straddling lanes, trying to get through some of the slower traffic. Now he's made his way over to the right shoulder here, and there is the potential that he may want to get off the freeway. He does have, I believe that's going to be the Sunflower off-ramp here coming up shortly. So right now he's kind of set himself up to exit the freeway. Whether he does so or not, no, it looks like he's going to make his way back onto the main line to the freeway there, all the way over to the fast lane of traffic here, the HOV lane, and you can see just kind of weaving in and out of some of the slower traffic in the area here. So yeah, desperate moves by a desperate person, we would presume here, because of the nature of his drive. You can tell he is definitely not wanting to give up peacefully at this point. So CHP is definitely in very close pursuit, as well as the CHP unit overhead, so they are definitely following this guy pretty closely here. In fact, you can see that one CHP cruiser that is very closely behind him, given the fact that he's been driving so erratically. That's doing a great job by the CHP there, but again, just utilizing the right shoulder there, and now kind of making his way over to the main lines of the freeway. So yeah, just an extremely dangerous situation here because of the fact that there are so many other commuters on the road. This slow traffic, well, I'm looking ahead over towards Azusa, over towards Irwindale, and this slower kind of traffic is going to be with us for the next couple of miles at the very least here. So he's going to be challenging himself in terms of his driving skill over the course of the next couple of miles, unless he chooses to get off the freeway at some point here. But you can see he's just kind of weaving in and out. So that's kind of what we're watching right now. But again, coming through the Glendora, coming up on Azusa here shortly, but again, just a situation where this person just driving very erratically, at times very fast, very unpredictably, and causing a danger to a lot of the commuters that are on the road with him. Guys, let me send it back down to you for a moment.
And I guess,
Okay,
you know,
yeah,
you think, okay, well, it was just a failure to yield, speeding, and the person didn't pull over, but when you hear that a gun was tossed, and what believed to be a gun was tossed from the vehicle, then you start to wonder what this person, why this person is running, that it's not just to evade a speeding ticket. And now, unfortunately, it looks like the speeds have increased here, and that gives the person an opportunity to hit the accelerator and create even more danger for those people who are on the freeway, and, you know, if he gets off the freeway, to pedestrians. Yeah. This is why someone like this needs to be stopped, and why the CHP continues to pursue. Because this person is dangerous and is creating danger for everyone around them.
Yeah, I mean, really making some bold moves here on the freeway, nearly cutting people off. Just looks like he's about to maybe get off the freeway, which we've seen a couple of times, and then ends up veering back on. But that does appear to be the case, Mark.
Citrus.
Citrus, is this an exit to get off the freeway?
That's okay, that's okay.
Okay, Citrus Avenue, we're hearing our producer saying. Look at that, I mean, almost in the dirt there, cutting off people on the freeway, going
that's
at
not
really high rates of speed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Utilizing that right shoulder there. It looks like he may be in the pocket to get off the freeway.
Whoa, here we go. Here we
okay,
go.
now he's lost it. Just fishtailed. Just fishtailed. Hit two vehicles there. Spun that pickup truck around.
And still
CHP
going.
very close on his tail here, but wow, unfortunately that move did not disable that Nissan Sentra. That Nissan Sentra still able to carry on the freeway there, but wow, just a dramatic scene there where he tried to make an aggressive move, lost control. The car fishtailed, lost the back end there. The car fishtailed. He hit that white pickup truck and then the dark colored pickup truck, and actually spun that second pickup truck, but now he is still going. So this kind of shows you the level of desperation that this guy is showing here. So just kind of utilizing that right shoulder. That CHP unit was very close behind in case that Nissan was disabled by the action of that collision there. But you can see he's still kind of moving. Wow, miraculously that thing is still going. So he is still on the freeway there, utilizing that right shoulder and being pursued by the CHP pretty closely here. But again, wow, is he going to try and get himself into a position there where he might be able to get off the freeway? We'll see. But just an exercise in caution for those who might be up ahead, because this obviously is a situation where he is exhibiting some very desperate behavior there. I don't know, was that dust being kicked up? I believe that was just dust being kicked up there, but okay, I thought there might be something with the vehicle itself. But at any rate, we're just coming up on Azusa and Irwindale beyond that, so you can see, well, no attempts to slow down. What's that red car doing? What's that red car doing? Okay, is the red car necessarily trying to just stay on the freeway? I mean, you'd think that he would actually kind of back out, but what's the red car doing? Okay, at any rate, the Nissan Sentra, the dark colored Nissan Sentra with the front end damage is what we are following at this point, kind of weaving in and out of traffic there. Is that a motor officer behind him, a CHP motor behind him? It looks like it. So yeah, you can just see that the suspect is just kind of weaving in and out. Now westbound on the 210 freeway, and it looks like he's kind of making efforts to go over to the right lane, maybe even to get off the freeway at some point. We'll watch and see what he does here. He has not done that in a way that would make us believe that he is really trying to lose the police, other than when he first came to air in the Laverne area, when he actually got off the 210 freeway east and then got right back on the 210 freeway west. But now we are going to be coming up on the Irwindale area over towards the 605, and perhaps this is an area that he might be familiar with. If you were listening to us just a couple of minutes ago, that 605 and the 210 is the area where he just threw a gun out of the window there. That is what they believed at that point anyways. But now again, we're kind of returning to that area, into the Irwindale area, westbound side of the 210 freeway. We'll be coming up on Irwindale, we'll be coming up on the 605 freeway, and beyond that, we'll see what he chooses to do here. But some desperate moves by this guy, this suspect, who was initially wanted, from what we understand, for expired registration. Guys?
And,
okay.
and the illustration of what we were just talking about a moment ago, putting people in danger, cavalierly hitting other vehicles, leaving them strewn about the freeway, and then just continuing on with his damaged vehicle. Again, continuing to put people at risk. This is the 210 freeway near the 605 at this point, going westbound. If you know anyone in that area, obviously try to stay off the freeway right now. Rare to see a motorcycle officer from the CHP in pursuit in this way. Typically, it is a radio car that is behind, but in this case we actually have a motor officer. Yeah,
I mean, the one thing you could think about, a motorcycle officer, they can weave in and out of traffic the way he was, but they're not as defended as they would be inside of a police cruiser. So a little more kind
vulnerable.
of a vulnerable, precarious situation, and I think what makes people so frustrated and angry when you see something like this is someone who has no regard for public safety, has already hit two innocent people that were minding their business on the freeway at 8 o'clock in the morning, and then continues on his way. And it's who else is he going to hurt in the process? So it's really difficult to see this, because obviously this person doesn't care who he hurts, and we're witnessing this car with some damage, thinking it could have been disabled there after the crash, but continuing to move at a pretty high rate of speed here on the 210.
Okay,
you think of a vehicle as I guess Mark wants to talk. Mark, go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, his last chance, and he just may take it, is what we were saying here. He was just now coming up on the 605 freeway and utilizing the left lane of traffic here, but he did swerve over to the right, and now he is going to be on the transition to the 605 south. This is right in the area where he discarded that weapon, about 20 minutes ago here. So now, again, backtracking back south on the 605 freeway. Now, earlier on, when we first started hearing this pursuit, he was actually coming through downtown Los Angeles, eastbound on the 10 freeway. He made it to the 60, and then he made it to the northbound 605, and then up to the 210 freeway here. So you can kind of see he's okay, Aldo, thanks. He's now just kind of backtracking, and now 605 south from the 210 freeway there. You can see that motor officer that is, relatively close behind him, just kind of keeping tabs on him. We also have a CHP helicopter above that is also tracking this guy's movements here. So given the fact that he's now 605 south, traffic conditions up ahead down towards the 10 freeway, not very bad at all. So in fact, he is going to be able to maintain a certain speed that he wishes, but not too much in the way of traffic. A few cars here and there that he might have to weave in and out of, but nothing like what we were seeing on the 210 freeway just a couple of minutes ago here. So again, he's going to have a pretty good go of it as he makes his way southbound 605 over towards the 10 and perhaps over towards the 60, something we will be watching. But now, you know, of course, with the helicopters overhead, with the CHP in relative close proximity behind him, the chances of this guy getting away, actually getting away, are slimmer and slimmer. And now, given the fact that he's got some front end damage there, that might play into it at some point later on here, guys.
The motor officer that's pursuing, is that officer alone, or are there units behind the motorcycle officer?
Yeah, no, it's not just the one motor officer. There's at least 2 motor officers and a couple of cruisers that I can see behind him. And of course, as we mentioned, let's see, 1 cruiser, a couple of motorcycles, and well, no, more than 1 cruiser, at least 2 cruisers, and of course the CHP helicopter above here. So that's kind of what we're working with right now. So it looks like they do have the resources in place to be able to keep up to this guy. There's about as nice a shot as we can get into that driver door window there. 1 male suspect there. Is he wearing a cutoff shirt or something like that? But
it looks like
pretty moderate damage to the front end of that car here. So I'm actually kind of surprised that he hasn't sustained some kind of damage there, radiator damage, engine, tranny damage. So no leakage of fluids, no overheating, at least not yet. But that might still come into play over the next few minutes here. But some pretty substantial damage to the front of that Nissan. So it's still going. Again, south on the 605 freeway. We're just now coming up on Los Angeles Street, and as he kind of weaves in and out, he's making his way over towards the slower lane of traffic. Does he want to get off? Well, looks like he wants to get off. There you go. Oh, okay, I've got you there. I meant, well, just after left. All right, exiting the freeway there, so at some point, let's see what we've got here. Lower Azusa is what Rich is telling me there. He's kind of in that center lane, which is clear of any traffic at this point here, so let's see what he does. Okay, so busted through the red light, making a turn towards us. That's an eastbound turn, and now he's kind of going over that 605 freeway. Does he want to get right back on the freeway, or is he going to continue on an eastbound track? So it looks like he's passed up his opportunity to make a clean transition back to the North 605, but it looks like he's slowing down here. So I don't know what that means. Is any damage to his car starting to catch up to him, because he's certainly not traveling too fast, and maybe that's a good thing considering that we are on surface streets at this point here. Right now, we're eastbound, and well, let's see here. Eastbound, kind of coming through an industrial area, but in a matter of about a block and a half, we're going to be in a residential area here. So there are going to be people who are on the sidewalks who are going to be kind of watching what's going on here. So given the fact that there are going to be pedestrians in this residential neighborhood here, that might increase the level of danger for anyone who might be out and about. Right now, we're moving through that industrial zone here, and now we're going to be just now moving into that residential neighborhood. We're kind of where it shifts into that type of a scene here. So, well, yeah, 2 cruisers and 2 motorbikes right behind him now, but, well, not driving too fast, and that's probably a good thing, all things considered here. Hopefully he just decides to give up peacefully, but as you can see, and as you have been watching, some pretty desperate moves by what is likely a pretty desperate suspect here in this case here. But yeah, from this angle, you can really kind of see that hood tacoed, bent up because of the fact that he collided with 2 vehicles on the 210 freeway. Okay, that's going to be a pretty fast, a pretty aggressive move to the left. That's going to be a northbound turn into the residential area here, and so now it kind of makes you think, does he know where he's at? Is he familiar with the area? We've seen that many times with pursuits where suspects will bring us into an area of familiarity. This might be someplace that he knows, and so, well, I guess we'll see what unfolds here, but not necessarily driving too fast, but sometimes this is an indicator when he tends to slow down here. If he gets to an area where he feels comfortable, he might just stop and foot bail. So something that I know the CHP are going to be looking out for. Typically when people drive, what's that? Okay, okay, thank you, Rich. According to Rich, Rich is telling us that he's been throwing some stuff out the window there. What that material is, we just don't know. But now, kind of making a left turn westbound and deeper into this residential neighborhood here. So, again, the CHP is going to be wary of a situation where this guy actually just abruptly stops and perhaps foot bails. So something that we will be watching out for as well. So now moving southbound, it's kind of a horseshoe type of a neighborhood here. Now moving southbound, not driving too fast. And again, the CHP helicopter overhead, we are watching him as well. Now it just kind of looks like we're driving in circles here. So is he trying to attract attention? Is he just trying to stall? Yeah, it's hard to know, but again, it just kind of gives me the vibe that maybe he does know where he is to some degree. Now he's just kind of circling the neighborhood. Maybe he is trying to attract attention here. Maybe he knows the neighborhood. Maybe he's waiting for someone to come out. Just don't know at this point here. There aren't too many entrances and exits to this neighborhood. Now he's just kind of circling that same block, So this is kind of what we're watching right now. Just kind of keep an eye out, Rich, if we start seeing people showing up on the outside of their houses here. But again, he's just kind of keeping that same pace. He's just coming around that horseshoe again. If he makes another left turn coming up here in 2 houses or so, we'll know that he is again just circling the block. Okay, now he's just kind of passing, continuing southbound, but still in the heart of this residential neighborhood. We are basically just about a quarter mile to the east of the 605 freeway here where he got off. And now, again, he's just kind of cruising the neighborhood. He's slowing down. Okay, slowing down. What is he going to do? Is he going to give up? Okay. We can see his hands. So, okay. It looks like maybe the beginnings of a termination here where he might be wanting to give up peacefully. The officers are not going to take any chances with this guy. They're going to give him some direct orders to exit the vehicle. They're going to want to see his hands at all times. But let's see what unfolds here. We have at least 1 cruiser and 2 motor officers down there, CHP unit above, and they're just kind of getting this guy to come out of his vehicle. Nice and slowly. They want to keep his hands in sight, no sudden movements, especially given the fact that this guy was potentially armed and dangerous, having thrown out that weapon at the 605 and the 210. We are just now going to watch and see how this unfolds here. So, you know, wary of the fact that this guy might have additional weapons. No problem, I've got you. Wary of the fact that this guy might be additionally armed. Well, I guess he left his car in neutral or drive because there it goes. He's going to hit another car there. But at any rate, there he is on the ground. CHP officers, guns drawn. They are approaching the suspect here, and hopefully they will be able to take him into custody peacefully. It looks like that's what he intends, and that is going to be the best possible outcome at this point here. But given the fact that potentially people might have been hurt, especially on that 210 freeway heading down this way, he collided with a couple of pickup trucks. Hopefully they are going to be okay. But at any rate, that's going to create a traffic situation up on the 210. And now it looks like this guy's going to be in custody. A couple of CHP officers right there making an approach to the car, just clearing it of any additional suspects. There's the code 4, clear the trunk, and there you go. Guys?
Wow. Yeah, we, you know, we witnessed really high rates of speed. You can see that the vehicle's damaged. Here's some video from earlier where this gray sedan crashed into 2 cars on the 210 freeway and then continued going for some time, and worried that he may hurt someone else. So this has now come to an end. Like Mark said, a gun was thrown out of the window at the 605 and the 210, and hopefully no one was hurt in that crash.
Well, and you feel for those folks who, as you said earlier, Jess, are just minding their own business, driving to work, trying to go on with their lives, be productive citizens, and this guy comes and just hits them out of nowhere. For what? You know, to what end? It's absurd. And now he's in custody. So you just feel for those folks, and it's good to see that CHP got this guy into custody.
All right, appreciate Mark Kono taking us through that as well.